What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to take off your front left and or front right fender off of your 1998 to 2005 Lexus GS300. So what you first want to do is you want to open up the hood. Now, as you can see, I already have the hood open and I have the umbrella little prop up there only because my hood struts are a little bit bad. So just for safety, why not just use something like an umbrella? But as you come up to the hood, what you want to do is you want to look at these mounting points for the headlight. Now, I'm only going to take off my driver's side fender, so all you really have to do is first, well, this is how I like to do it, you take off the bolts from the headlight harness that goes to the chassis, and this one's actually missing a bolt. I don't have it on at the moment, but after you're done with that, you want to unclip this part, and I just did that, as you guys can see. So bumper's actually kind of trying to come off now. So for the next part, make sure all of the bolts at the bottom of your bumper here, I don't have them on right now, but make sure they're all off. I think there's 10, if not 12. There's either 10 or 12 that all go there. So after you're done removing them, you can pretty much actually get the bumper pretty loose already. So mine was literally just held on by just these right here, because I'm not about to go through that BS of getting these bolts that are like right in that fender right here, like around this area. But after that, you're pretty much ready to take off the whole front bumper of the Lexus GS300. And before you actually do, there's actually one more thing I would like to add. So make sure you disconnect your fog light cover or light and your corner light cover as well. So at least just the harness that actually connects into there, like with the bulb and stuff like that. And this is just to prevent you from ripping off all of that stuff. Alright guys, so now that we got the bumper off, what you want to do is just to actually access the two bolts that are here on the fender. You want to really remove the headlight. So there's 3 harnesses that connect into here, so you just want to disconnect those real quick. And now that the front headlight is actually removed, so now you can see you got a little more room in here. So these were the 2 hardest bolts that I thought. Oh, my car just locked. So these were the 2 hardest bolts that I actually thought were inside the fender here. So I thought you only had to access them from here, but turns out they made it easy. So all you have to do is just really get these 2 10mm bolts and remove these from the chassis. Alright, so after you're done removing those 10mm bolts right there, there's only 2 of them. All you have to do is just remove these. How many there are? 1, 2, 3. Just removes these 3 10s. And let me show you a hidden one right here. It's probably one of the most important ones that I think people forget. I already removed mine because this is just a temporary fender I had on the car. But you see that? That's another 10mm. It's a little bit offset because the fitment was not all that great because it is a damaged fender. So there's a 10mm right there, and we'll just get to removing them, even though this one isn't even here. Alright, so now after you're done removing all of these 10 mils right here, and the one I told you to remove right here, hold on. The one right there. The next step is get one of these hex bolt tools or whatever. I don't know what dimension these are, but what you want to do is you want to come down here, and this is what actually keeps this part of this fender intact. And there's some little push pins in there or little clips in there, but I actually thought this was one piece at one time until I really removed it and it's just separated. So what you want to do is it's easy as taking out these 2 right here. This part is a little dirty, but that's all right. But just take out these 2, and that one already fell out. That's how loose it was. So take out these 2, and all you have to do is really just pull this part. Make sure you don't break the clips. You should be all right. All right, now that we got this panel removed, also I would like to add, make sure you actually have your wheel turned to to either the right or left, depends which side you're actually working on. I have mine turned to the right just for easier accessibility for this part. And if you can't already tell, the other day I already took out my inner fender liner because it was really rubbing bad, and honestly I think that's just better if you're going lower. So we'll just get to the next step. You'll see that there's this one bolt that's right in there. I recommend using a deep socket, and there's actually one right here, and I'll get to that in a bit, but we're gonna get to removing this one first. So I guess a bit of an unexpected part in this side is the next thing you would want to do, just so you can access that second bolt I was about to tell you guys about, is you want to remove your side skirt. Not completely, but just make sure you remove enough bolts to where it's flexible enough to come off, but not completely, just so you can access the bolt that's right under the first one. And if you can't already tell, I already removed 4 of these, so I've been rocking like that for about a few days now. So all you have to do is just remove these 4, but if you really want to be extra safe, remove them all, but you don't have to really completely take it off, but that's how you access it. And after you're done removing some of the screws, if I call them bolts, my fault, from your Phillips or whatever tool you're actually using to remove them, you want to pull on this gently, but not too hard, and right there is the screw. But it's not there because I didn't put it on, because this thing has some weird fitment issues and I just didn't even feel like doing it. I was going to take it off anyway, as I'm doing right now. So after you're done with that, if you do have fender liner, this little washer piece or this little clip here, you want to actually remove, not the green part, but if you actually have the whole assembly, you want to remove the black piece that inserts into here, just like pop it out, but you can keep the fender liner. But that really just keeps it attached to the fender. And once you're done with that, if I can actually do this with one hand, the whole fender, as you can see, should come off. So now that we got the fender off, I guess I'm just gonna install the new one I actually got. It's a bit dirty right now, but pretty much perfect. I've been trying to find the silver driver side fender for a GS for so long, and one popped up today, and I immediately got it for $50. It still has the original trim. This is impressive. So for installing the fender, it's pretty much just the same process, just reverse of what we just did. So I'm gonna cut it short, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I actually have everything put back together. Alright guys, so as you can see, I do actually have the left fender on that I actually put on, and there is a bit of a gap in the fender here, but that's only because of the bumper. So you could basically say that the fender fits almost too well to be OEM for the bumper. So nonetheless, I mean, the fitment is a bit weird only because of that one part, but other than that, everything aligns up beautifully, just like OEM. I wanted to also say that the install process of it actually isn't too bad. All you have to do is just know what you're doing and just be very careful with the side skirt. But honestly, once you just get used to it after taking this car apart more and more, putting it back together, I feel like it will be pretty easy for you, as it has definitely been pretty easy for me. And for those wondering what happened to my black fender, well, the original plan was I wasn't actually going to get this fender. See, with the black fender I had on the car, I was planning on to get that one fixed with the bodywork and all that. I was going to get it repainted, but I realized they gave me an estimate and I went to many body shops. It just wouldn't be worth it. For the price that I could actually get that fender fixed for would be just as much as if I were to get vented fenders. So you had to really think smart on that one. So I backed out, and I just wanted to find a new fender, and this one popped up for 50 bucks, and I pulled it from the junkyard myself, and I have absolutely no regrets with that. And if you did see the last video, you might be wondering what happened to the plans for bodywork for this car, as I'll throw the clip in right here. From this point on, I'm just going to be basically working on the bodywork, so I'm going to get a new fender installed. I'm going to just get all the dents primarily out of the car, so if you can just kind of tell, that fender right there gotta go. This dent right here has to go, as well as a lot of other dents that I've actually had on the car as I've gotten it. So the plan for that actually was canceled for me, because I wanted to actually work on a few more other things with this car, because I actually don't think it's that bad. Even those two really do annoy me right there, but everything really doesn't look all that bad on this car. I feel like I was just really overstressing myself, but I wanted to really get everything, like the rear lip, front bumper, and well, I already got the fender. I wanted to get all of those parts at least here before I get it painted, and so I can do the whole body work, so I can have the car in one piece, and wheels as well. So yes, you did hear it from me first, so I will definitely get the body work done more than likely next year. But as of right now, I'm just gonna chill out on that whole plan and just get some of the other things, as I said, I wanted to get on the car, just so everything can come by in one piece. We'll definitely get there, folks. We'll definitely get there. I already have a lot of things ordered as of right now for this car, and I have a lot of things in the works for the future, so I would say stay tuned for that as well. So if you did stick around to the end of the video, I do appreciate that. I hope you did find this video pretty informative of how to actually remove and, I would say, install your fender on your Lexus GS300. But on that further note, everyone, I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one, and until then, take care. And I appreciate every single one of you for taking the time out of your day to watching my video.